Hey folks, Trubie here. Several weeks I've been promising to talk to you about campaign play. Well, today's that day. So, what am I thinking about with campaign play? This is all completely like a work in progress. I'm still flying by the seat of my pants a little bit, but I've got this planned out. I think I like it. So here's what we're going to be doing. So, I've been playing a lot of Warhammer Kill Team, Warhammer 40k Kill Team. I've made no secret of that. Actually playing Dice Masters with the 40k sets made me get into Kill Team. And one of the things I like about Kill Team is you can do a match where it's just you versus your opponent, kill everything. Or there's also mission-based play. So it's like, capture this area, or kill your opponent's troops while you have one of your troops next to them to capture it, or just, there's a lot of varied ways of playing the game. So even if you're getting completely trashed by your opponent, you can still pull out a win based off of your victory points, based off of the various objectives you've had during the game. So I thought this would be a cool thing to bring in the Dice Masters. So that's what we're going to be trying to do. And this video might get a little bit long because I'm going to actually discuss the 4 missions that I've come up with. And I'm going to try to put a little link down on the bottom saying, so you can jump to the time step. So you don't have to watch all of this, or you can just jump to it as you want to. But let's start with the basics. So for campaign play, each week players will get one resource per round of play. So basically, if you're playing 3 rounds, you get 3 resources. You get 4 resources if you're playing 4 rounds. You get it. So now games are going to be mission based. So at the beginning of each match, you'll randomly determine which of these missions you're going to be playing against your opponent. If you lose the mission, you lose 1 resource. Then we're going to be playing the campaign for 3 weeks. The player with the most resources after 3 weeks is up wins the campaign. In this case, it'll be a larger pool of store credit, basically. I've thought about giving a +1 resource just for attendance. So basically, if there's 3 weeks, or if there's 3 rounds of play, you get 4 resources. So even if you go 0-3, you still come away with 1 resource. I'm shaky on that. I haven't decided whether I'm going to roll with that yet or not. I might wait till after week 1 because I can retroactively add those points. So we'll figure that out. But so yeah, the big deal here is with the missions, you'll be getting victory points. Taking your opponent down to 0 life awards 2 victory points. However, there are other ways to gain victory points. So just because you have killed your opponent does not necessarily mean you win the match. So let's talk about the various missions I've come up with. They are going to be Terror Tactics, Gather Intelligence, Sap Defenses, and Control the Bunker. So I'm going to cut this into sections, so let's go to part 1. Alright, so Terror Tactics, Mission 1. Killing your opponent also kills their morale, so unleash hell on their troops. The objective here is to KO as many of your opponent's dice as possible. Players will keep track of the number of opposing dice they've KO'd. For every 5 they've KO'd of their opponent's dice, they will get 1 victory point. The game ends at time, or when a player's life total is reduced to 0. Then, as I said before, reducing your opponent to 0 life awards 2 victory points. So, in other words, KOing 15 of your opponent's dice is worth more than actually KOing your opponent. At the end, the player with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner of the match. The loser loses 1 resource. This one should hopefully be pretty straightforward. Special rules like if you were to Blue Eyes White Dragon your own troop, your own dice, that does not give your opponent a victory point. However, if your opponent was using something like a Superhero Registration Act and you KO'd one of your guys, that is an effect by your opponent that caused you to KO one of your dudes, so that would be a victory point for your opponent. Gather Intelligence, Mission 2. A relay beacon has fallen into the battlefield and contains valuable information. A player may declare an attack on the relay beacon, not bacon, during their attack step instead of attacking their opponent. If you've played Magic, you can sort of think of it as like if your opponent had a planeswalker out, you could declare an attack on a planeswalker. But the opponent may block these dice as if they were personally attacked. Players will individually keep track of the damage they've inflicted on the relay beacon, and for every 5 damage they have successfully inflicted on the beacon, a player successfully gathers intelligence and is awarded 1 victory point. Unblocked dice that attack the beacon will go to the use pile as normal, and effects that deal damage to a player may deal damage to the beacon instead, adding to the total damage inflicted on the beacon. That also includes life loss, so the beacon can lose life. So if you're using, I think it's rescue, that when you roll her, she comes up a energy, you can have your opponent lose 1 life. You can have the beacon lose 1 life, and that would count. It's reinterpreted as damage. As I said before, the game ends when a player's life is reduced to 0, or if time is up. Reducing your opponent to 0 life awards 2 victory points. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner of the match. The loser loses 1 resource. Sap Defenses. Mission 3. Infiltrate your opponent's defenses and wreak havoc from the inside. The first non-sidekick character die a player fields becomes their sapper for the remainder of the match. That can't change. Each time a sapper attacks an opposing player and goes unblocked, that sapper's controller gains 1 victory point. The game ends at time or when a player's life total reduces to 0. Reducing your opponent to 0 life awards 2 victory points. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner of the match. The loser will lose 1 resource. So, just play example. If you are playing with, say, the, I don't know, Orc Boys. The first character you feel is an Orc Boy. So now for the rest of the game, when that Orc Boy gets through, when any of the Orc Boys get through, that's 1 victory point. So things that are unblockable might be good to shoot for those first, to try to get those fielded first. But yeah, it has to be a non-sidekick character. Last but not least, we have Control the Bunker. This is possibly the most complicated of them, but hopefully you'll get the idea pretty quick. So, there is a bunker of strategic importance in the middle of the battlefield. You've been tasked with capturing and controlling the bunker. When a character die goes unblocked, a player may choose for that die to deal no combat damage to the opponent and instead charge the bunker. If the bunker is unoccupied, that die is set aside and now occupies the bunker. A character die in the bunker is cut off from his forces, so it cannot attack, it cannot block. For all intents and purposes, it's out of play. Damage does not clear from that die, and the die does not count as being active. Player damage or life loss effects may target the bunker die, so treating it like a third player. The bunker die remains there until its defense is reduced to 0, and its controller replaces it with, or if its controller replaces it with another unblocked character die. Then once again, they have to choose to deal no combat damage with it. If the bunker is occupied by an opposing player's die, the attacking die deals its combat damage to the die in the bunker, reducing its defense. If the attacking die deals enough damage to KO the bunker die goes to its controller's use pile, and the attacking die takes control of the bunker. If the attacking die does not KO the bunker die, it still goes to the use pile, and the bunker die stays there, but has lost that much life. At the start of your turn, gain 1 victory point if one of your dice occupies the bunker. So, basically, you're wanting to sit something big there for as long as possible. But you can still, the die has to go unblocked, so you can still choose to block whatever they try to get into the bunker. The game ends at time, or when a player's life is reduced to 0, reducing your opponent to 0 life, awards 2 victory points. The player with the most victory points at the end of the game is the winner of the match. The loser will lose 1 resource. This is actually the one I like the most. I think it's causes some interesting effects, like if you are playing Swarm and you get through with a Swarm character, like the I'm forgetting what they're called, the zombies for the plague dudes. Wow, I'm totally off with my names today. But anyway, if they go through unblocked, they're sitting in the bunker. That's one less Swarm die you have because it just sits there. Yes, you're getting points, but you're getting 1 less piece of Swarm. So it's something to think about. But it's also a way that you could set aside a sidekick into the bunker. And that's one less sidekick you're actually drawing, helping you get to your bag faster. But then, of course, it's only the 1 defense, so that makes it a little bit harder. But yeah, that is the idea behind Control the Bunker. And there you have it, folks. Those are our 4 missions. Currently only 4. Obviously, more can come out. If you have ideas for missions, by all means. This is sort of, I guess, open source. Add your own missions. Let me know what you think of. Tell me how it goes. Because currently there's only the 4, so we'll probably be rolling a D4 or rolling a D6 and throwing out 5 and 6 to figure out what mission you play at the beginning of each round. And also I expect most of these games are going to go to time because you're going to be fighting for the victory points rather than fighting for killing your opponent. So be prepared. The day may go a little slower, but I still think these are fun. I've played around with it a little bit with Melissa. I think they work pretty well. I'd love to hear what your thoughts are. Feel free to send me messages, post things down below. I will hopefully see them. I'm a little slow sometimes because I don't get the notifications immediately. But yeah, that's it. Campaign play. We'll see how it goes. That's our January events. I'll keep you updated. That's all for this week. Catch you guys later.